So, I'm sure you know, we experienced some very intense solar activity recently. And auroras, as far as I know, aurora borealis was seen as far south as like the Bahamas and the Galapagos Islands. Even over here in Southern California, I noticed the sky being purple, reddish in color. So it was a pretty rare, unusual event. Um, I would say it could possibly be pointing to something. You know, my friend said we had this eclipse, and then pretty much shortly after these auroras. I don't know either way. If it does or not, I'm sure it means something. I'm talking spiritually speaking, of course. What I will say is that we became extraordinarily fortunate um, that our grid didn't go down. So this event was not that much weaker than the 1859 Carrington event that took down telegraph wires all around the world. And I think that's really profound. Um, that not even a portion of the power grid went down. I think that's really extraordinary. It seems like we keep dodging the dodgeballs that are thrown in our way from every direction, from everywhere. There's another ball flying right to our face, and then something miraculously seems to stop it and it subsides. I don't know. Is it aliens? Is it divine? I have no idea. What I can tell you is that I did dream about the sun and strange activity going on with the sun. And I've had many such dreams, many such dreams that I've shared over here on this channel about the sun doing weird things. And I've seen all kinds of events that the sun would do, from solar flares to all this enigmatic activity. And last night, I was in another reality. I could tell because the cars looked really off. And I'm not talking about like differences between like Europe and America or Japan or cars in India. That's not what I'm referring to. I'm referring to they were completely alien type automobiles, and everything else was very similar. It really looked like the Earth quite a bit, with, you know, those subtle differences. And I noticed that I was looking at the sky a lot. It basically felt like a whole lifetime had passed in this dream. And I noticed the intensity of the sun and how it was just unbearably like radiant and hot and uncomfortable. And so I was just going about what felt like day to day, and the sun continuously got brighter and more intense. And it became so intense that society wasn't really functioning anymore. You had two groups of people. One of them were like fully lethargic and unable to do anything, and were just basically in this sleep state. Hey, Kel, what's happening? The other group of people, it was a total opposite. They had extreme anxiety. They were running around, unable to sit down, and it was definitely a huge contrast to look at. It was really weird. And so it became so bright that you couldn't even barely see anything on the ground anymore. And then it dimmed. It dimmed really, really low. And it looked very dark after this intense brightness. And all these like little, like almost like they weren't like catastrophic, like all these like strange little meteorites started just flying out of it, like countless of these like little meteorites, but there's something strange about them. They didn't look like comets or meteors. They looked like, I'll tell you what they reminded me of. In my near death experience, when I was approaching the light, I saw these golden sparkles kind of shoot off from the light. And this was exactly like that. Like this sun in this realm started raining down countless little specks of light that were just inundating everything. And after that, that was basically it. But I've seen a lot of dreams over the years, from the sun doing things like that to the sun destroying worlds, completely just evaporating and just annihilating planets and so forth. So it's interesting to me. And that's it. And, before I go, like, it is extraordinarily amazing that the power grid didn't go down. I just wanted to emphasize that. Extraordinarily amazing.